Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that takes a whole stack of sources, articles, notes, whatever you send us, and boils it all down to the key insights you need. Fast. Today, we're diving into something really transformative, digital entrepreneurship. We've got some great material from you on this, and our mission, like always, is to get you up to speed quickly and clearly. Now, it's interesting, when we talk about the digital revolution, I think of just the last few years, right? But the sources point out something maybe a bit different. Sure, computing got going after World War II, PCs hit in the 80s, the web in the 90s. But the real, deep disruptive potential, that only became a major topic around 2007.
Yeah, that's a really important point because 2007, that's roughly when we saw the convergence, the real combined power of things like ubiquitous computing, compute power being everywhere, in your pocket, on your desk.
Right, all around us.
Exactly. And widespread internet, smartphones, big data starting to become a thing, AI, digital platforms. These weren't just small tweaks. They really kick-started totally new kinds of entrepreneurship. They sped up how fast you could create and scale a business. I mean, unbelievably fast compared to before. And yeah, they totally rewrote the rules of competition. And the core idea here, it's not just using some software. It's this deep integration of digital tech. It makes the whole entrepreneurial process way more fluid, more porous. You get outcomes that are super malleable, extendable, easy to modify. Think about like a direct-to-consumer brand starting today versus 20 years ago. World of difference.
Okay, so this deep integration, let's unpack that. What is digital entrepreneurship really, and how has that idea itself evolved?
Fundamentally, it's about creating and managing new businesses or really transforming existing ones by applying digital technologies. That's the engine. It goes way beyond just having a shop on the high street. It's all about leveraging online platforms, digital tools, using data to figure things out, creating marketing, scaling, often much faster or wider.
And those tools, like you mentioned, it's a huge range, isn't it? We're talking social media, mobile apps, cloud computing, e-commerce platforms, AI, data analytics. Basically everything entrepreneurs use to design and get their products or services out there, online, right into your hands, potentially.
Exactly. And it's really quite complex and far-reaching. This whole thing really started picking up steam back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's not just about selling stuff online, it's actually changing social habits, how we behave. It allows people to really individualize their choices more and more. Customizing everything, meeting very specific tastes. That level of personalization is pretty new.
Which leads to this kind of fascinating point the sources make. The definition of entrepreneurship itself has broadened out. It's not just starting a new company from scratch anymore. Now it's seen as any situation where someone, takes risks, spots an opportunity, and creates something new that has value, something that lasts. Often by finding and mixing existing resources in new ways, maybe even resources they don't directly control. It's a much wider read.
Absolutely. So yeah, digital entrepreneurship broadly is using digital tech as the essential foundation, the core for launching, running, growing new businesses. And that means using a whole toolkit of digital stuff to find opportunities, make them better, really cultivate them. You've got e-commerce, obviously, online stores, marketplaces like Etsy, Amazon, selling anywhere.
Without needing a physical shop.
Right. Then social media, digital marketing, not just ads, but building a brand, talking to customers directly on Instagram, TikTok, wherever.
Mobile apps are huge too, adding value, making things easy for users, handling transactions.
Definitely. And data analytics, collecting all that user data, spotting trends, optimizing everything based on actual numbers, not just guesswork.
Cloud computing underlies a lot of this, right? Storing data, running apps without needing massive servers yourself. Scalability.
Exactly. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Game changers for startups. Yeah. Then there's AI and machine learning creeping in everywhere. Chatbots, personalized recommendations, making operations smoother. And increasingly, you hear about blockchain for secure transactions, proving ownership with things like NFTs, building trust, even managing supply chains. It's a very wide range of tools.
That really paints a picture. Okay, so for you, the entrepreneur listening, what are the really critical differences? Digital versus, let's say, traditional entrepreneurship?
I think the main things that stand out are the product themselves, how you market them, and how the workplace functions. Big differences there. Digital entrepreneurship is kind of a subset, the entrepreneurship, but with digitalization baked right in. Digital businesses, digital goods, digital services. But it's worth saying traditional businesses aren't just sitting still. Many are adopting digital methods pretty heavily to improve what they do. It's not always as strict either.
Okay, yeah, good point. Let's maybe break down those differences you mentioned, because they seem quite fundamental. First up, ease of entry. Seems huge. Digital businesses are just, well, much easier to get off the ground, aren't they?
Oh, massively.
You can literally start something global from your kitchen, website up, maybe selling existing stuff compared to finding premises, fit out, stock for a physical shop.
Yeah, no comparison.
Yeah.
And platforms like eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, they let individuals spin up small businesses incredibly quickly. It really lowers the barrier.
Then, ease of manufacturing and storing. If you're selling digital goods, software, courses, ebooks, music.
Right. The manufacturing cost is practically zero after the first copy.
Yeah.
And storage, negligible. It's not like needing a warehouse full of widgets.
It's that just-in-time idea taken to an extreme, almost never in time until it's bought. Saves a ton of traditional costs.
Yeah,
The sources seem to highlight this particularly for businesses really built on digital.
exactly. The more digital your core offering, the bigger this advantage.
Yeah. Okay, third, ease of distribution. The digital marketplace. This feels like a primary advantage.
It really is. The internet lets you deliver goods, services globally, instantly, cheaply.
Which also means, though, you're competing globally. Intense competition.
True, big challenge. But the flip side is you can handle demand 24/7 from anywhere. Huge potential reach.
Next, the digital workplace. You mentioned this. Global internet means you can hire people anywhere, build virtual teams.
Yeah, access talent globally, maybe optimize costs, get diverse perspectives, potentially fantastic.
It brings challenges, too.
Oh, definitely. Managing a distributed team effectively, building culture remotely, that requires different skills. It can be tough if you haven't done it before.
Okay, how about the digital product itself? You touched on manufacturing, storage. Shipping is basically free, too.
Right, and they're incredibly easy to modify, update, innovate on. You can tweak a piece of software or an online course without stopping production lines.
But the sources mention needing thorough feedback.
Crucial. Because it's so easy to change things, you need that constant feedback loop with users before you launch big new features or versions. It connects to that idea of product innovation, driving process innovation, making sure what you build actually works and improves how you work.
And this benefit is mainly for those moderate and extreme digital entrepreneurs.
Generally, yes. The more your business is the digital product, the more these advantages apply.
And digital service. Services are becoming more dominant everywhere, it seems.
Hugely important online. Customers want good value, affordable services tailored to them. So entrepreneurs really need to focus on understanding customer needs, watching competitors. A big mistake is just assuming the tech is the answer. It's how you use the tech to deliver great service that people actually want.
Right. And finally, this interesting point about digital commitment. What's that about?
It's a subtle one. For businesses that are almost entirely virtual, the extreme digital ones, the money's real, obviously, but everything else might feel a bit intangible.
Like a game.
Sort of, yeah. The sources suggest that building that deep sense of commitment and shared purpose can sometimes be harder in a brand new, purely virtual company compared to one with a physical presence, shared space, that kind of thing. It's a unique psychological challenge.
Fascinating. Okay, zooming out again. You mentioned digital entrepreneurship drives economic growth. How does that work on a bigger scale?
Well, it's a pretty powerful engine. It boosts economies local, regional, national, mainly by creating new jobs. Those jobs mean more spending power locally, which lifts living standards. Plus, these digital businesses often integrate local resources or other local businesses into their supply chains, even if they operate globally. That stimulates the local economy too.
And in some cases, especially in less developed areas, this increased activity can actually lead to infrastructure improvements like better internet, roads.
Yeah, there's evidence for that. Success breeds success, and sometimes the infrastructure has to catch up to support the new digital activity, which benefits everyone.
And there's a link between SMEs adopting digital tech and growth.
A clear link. Small and medium enterprises that really embrace more advanced digital tools and strategies tend to show better growth and hire more people. It gives them a competitive edge.
So beyond the pure economics, what other maybe societal advantages does digital entrepreneurship bring?
It offers some really positive pathways. Things like potentially more equal opportunities because the barriers to entry can be lower. It enables remote work, which helps flexibility and inclusion. It can also foster gender equality and socioeconomic inclusion, allowing people who might face barriers in traditional sectors to participate. And when you combine digital entrepreneurship with open data initiatives, it can really boost local development in smart, sustainable ways. Plus, you have all these emerging trends: mobile tech, cloud, big data, digital manufacturing, constantly opening up new doors.
So the strategic use of these technologies is key. Entrepreneurs need to figure out how to really capture the economic value.
Exactly. And many local digital businesses actually have this built-in potential for really rapid expansion across borders. But success always comes back to spotting those new opportunities that technology unlocks.
The European Commission actually identified 5 key pillars for this, right, to
That's,
understand digital entrepreneurship.
that's right, 5 essential elements. First, the digital knowledge base and ICT market.
Hmm.
Basically, having the data structured, unstructured that systems can use, and the tech infrastructure, the ICT, to move that information around, the pipes and the stuff flowing through them.
Okay. Second.
The digital business environment. This is more the virtual space itself, where systems track business info, interactions, think social networks, online communities. It's part of this digital environment where business happens.
Third was access to finance, more than just loans.
Yeah, it's broader. The ability for people and businesses to get the financial services they need credit, yes, but also savings, payments, insurance, ways to manage risk. Managing money well is critical.
Fourth pillar, digital skills and e-leadership.
Crucial, having people with the skills to actually use the digital tech effectively. And e-leadership, that's about leading teams, influencing people, driving performance when you're working digitally, maybe remotely. It's a specific skill set.
And the fifth was entrepreneurial culture.
Right. Creating an environment where innovation is encouraged, where people feel empowered to take calculated risks, to try new things, sometimes called entrepreneurship inside bigger companies. But the core idea is fostering that innovative mindset.
Okay, let's shift to value creation. How does digital entrepreneurship actually create value? The sources talk about it as a process using digital enablers.
Yeah, think of it as a cycle. Each stage of creating something valuable, designing, building, delivering, has specific information needs. What do we need to know? What do customers want? Sometimes there's friction between these stages, bottlenecks. Digital enablers, the tech tools like AI, analytics, cloud, help smooth out that friction, help meet those information needs better. And crucially, you get feedback from customers using the digital product or service, and that feedback loops back to improve the enablers and how you're meeting needs. It's continuous improvement.
And this digital value creation, it shouldn't be separate from the main business. It needs to integrate.
Ideally, yes. It should overlap strongly with the core business value chain. They should work together, synergistically. It becomes part of how the business fundamentally operates. Domino's Pizza is a great example they often use. They didn't just add online ordering. They used digital tech to completely transform the experience.
Right, more customization, better delivery tracking.
Exactly. And while doing that, they collected tons of data to optimize everything behind the scenes, their store operations, supply chain, the physical stuff. It shows how digital and physical can enhance each other. And that framework, you can pretty much use it to look at any business. Where are digital strengths, weaknesses? What enablers are we using well? What needs aren't being met?
It seems the digital era has just unleashed a flood of opportunities for entrepreneurs. This is where it gets really exciting for many people listening.
Oh, absolutely. The opportunities are vast. Let's tick off some key ones. Global reach. We mentioned this. Digital platforms just smash geographical barriers. You can reach customers anywhere. Even niche businesses can find a viable global audience.
E-commerce, obviously. Easy to set up shop online, display products, sell effectively.
Innovation. The pace of tech change itself constantly creates openings for new, disruptive solutions, new business models nobody thought of before.
Data-driven insights. Access to all that data lets you make smarter decisions, personalized experiences for customers in really powerful ways.
Low barrier to entry. This is huge. Often needs way less starting capital than a traditional business. Open source software, pay-as-you-go cloud services, cheaper digital marketing. It makes starting a business more accessible, even in developing countries.
And it enables completely new business models and ecosystems, right?
Definitely. Things like the platform economy, Uber, Airbnb connecting people, subscription models,
Right.
freemium, crowdsourcing. These models thrive in these interconnected digital ecosystems where different players collaborate. And now you're seeing Web3 tech, blockchain, NFTs opening doors for even newer decentralized models. It keeps evolving.
Plus flexibility and agility. Digital businesses can often pivot fast.
Super flexible. Remote work is often baked in. You can adapt quickly to market shifts,
Yeah.
iterate on your product constantly, rapid prototyping, testing ideas, changing direction if needed. That agility is key.
And you mentioned social good earlier too, advancing equality, inclusion, helping local development, especially using open data.
Yes, that's a really important potential benefit. And think about research and development R&D. Digital transformation has changed that too. Easier access to research papers, data, better tools for analysis,
Yeah.
more collaboration, often globally. There's sort of four patterns emerging. One, data is fuel. Insights on markets, improving operations, tweaking products based on feedback.
2, data enables new services, like using IoT sensors for predictive maintenance on machines.
3, new tech speeds things up. 3D printing for faster prototyping, for instance, shortens development cycles.
And 4, innovation is more collaborative. Digital tools make it easier to share costs, risks, and expertise across teams or even companies.
And all these patterns together, they create this environment where startups can just be born digital and scale internationally incredibly fast.
Okay, the opportunities are immense, clear potential. But we have to talk about the other side of the coin, the challenges. And there are significant ones.
Absolutely critical to understand these. You're right, they are significant. We can group them maybe. First, organizational and technological constraints. Just changing how a company works, processes, workflows, who reports to whom to fit digital often meets resistance. People don't always like change.
And money, skills.
Big ones. Finding the cash, especially for SMEs, to invest in the tech, and crucially, finding people with the right skills. That's expensive and hard. And sometimes the basic IT infrastructure just isn't good enough.
Second challenge area, consumer acceptance.
Yeah, if customers don't get it, don't trust it, or just don't like your new digital thing,
Yeah.
they won't buy it. Simple as that. You have to build trust, educate users, make the experience good.
Third, market unpredictability. Things change fast online.
Incredibly fast. Trends, consumer tastes, how people buy stuff, it can shift overnight. You have to be constantly watching and ready to adapt. Blink, and you might miss it.
Fourth, unforeseen risks. Things you didn't plan for.
Right. Government policies suddenly changing data privacy rules, cybersecurity laws, taxes, import-export stuff. That can hit hard. And big global events like financial crises can zap consumer spending on digital things quickly.
And beyond those big categories, there are other specific hurdles too, aren't there? Like digital competition, that ease of entry we celebrated. It means way more competitors. You have to stand out.
Exactly. Fierce competition. Then cybersecurity. Massive issue. Relying on digital means you're a target. Protecting data is non-negotiable and expensive.
Constant adaptation. The tech treadmill never stops. You have to keep learning, keep updating just to stay in the game.
It's relentless. Digital marketing complexity too. It seems easy, but doing it well. SEO, algorithms, social media management takes real expertise.
Market saturation. Even niche markets can get crowded fast online. Finding space requires real innovation.
True. And finding the right people, talent acquisition, and the skills gap. There just aren't enough people with the top-end digital skills developers, data scientists, cybersecurity experts. Startups struggle to attract and keep them.
And lastly, regulatory uncertainty. Digital business is global, but laws are often local and haven't caught up.
Huge headache. Navigating different rules in different countries, data laws, taxes, consumer rights. It's complex and constantly changing. Legal minefield sometimes.
Plus the digital divide. Not everyone has equal access or skills.
Right. Differences in internet access, digital literacy that limit your market reach, especially in developing regions. Trying to operate where infrastructure is poor is tough.
So, wrapping this all up, digital entrepreneurship, clearly dynamic, constantly changing, offers amazing opportunities, wealth, innovation, global reach.
But, and it's a big but, those opportunities come packaged with serious challenges, intense competition, cyber risks, talent gaps, regulatory hurdles.
Success really seems to demand understanding both sides, the huge upside and the significant risks. You need agility, resilience, you need to keep learning, keep adapting your strategy.
Absolutely. It's not an easy path, but the potential rewards are enormous.
So, for you, our listeners, something to think about as we close this deep dive. We talked about how digital businesses can sometimes feel a bit like a game, how virtual environments might make deep commitment harder to build initially. So the question to ponder is, in this increasingly digital world, how do entrepreneurs cultivate that real, lasting trust and loyalty, not just from customers, but maybe even more importantly, from their own teams spread across the globe? What are those core human elements that need even more focus in a digital-first business to ensure you build something that truly connects and endures?